Greetings, YouTube. So we are back today with another Mass Effect video, but it's not Mass Effect gameplay. Nay nay. So we finished Mass Effect 1 last time on stream, and I thought it'd be a fun idea we um if we went through and we ranked the characters of the game, kind of put them in their tiers. And so I have 14 characters that I grabbed off the top of my head from the series. These are reoccurring characters within the first game. You know, spoiler alert, some of these characters aren't going to, have continued on. But yeah, so we have some characters who, are going to be continuing to other games, and my plan is to update their ranking, at the end of each game. We'll remove characters, or you know what, we'll leave characters that are like dead or that kind of thing, or don't show up in games. We're gonna leave them where they're at, and then when we finish Mass Effect 3, we'll have like a full series list. And so, we'll see where final rankings are, because some characters will have better games than other games, give them a chance to move up in the rankings, all that fun stuff. So I'm going to hop you guys over to that screen. What up? All right, so this is the tier list that I have made for us, and we have all the companions on here. We have the villains, and we have just like characters that we saw a good bit during the first game. So we are going to start off with I don't think that this is in. This actually might have ended up being in alphabetical order. I don't know if it did that on purpose or if I like picked the images in alphabetical order. I'm not sure. But we're gonna start off on a really weak note, guys. And we're starting off with Ashley, who we all know I'm not a fan of Ashley. Um, at this point, the video's out, all that good stuff. Actually, you know what? Let me double check that before I say that. I want to just make sure. All right, so here's the thing. This is technically a little bit early, but when this video is going to be uploaded, it'll be after. So, yeah, Ashley didn't make it in my game. Ashley died, and so she's not going to appear in any of the future games. For the fact that she's honestly just like such a negative character. Like I dislike her so much. She's just like really annoying. And like I know that this is like some of my feelings about like the future games or that kind of stuff. But like man, she sucks in the first game, she sucks in the rest of the games. And I feel like they try and like redeem her in the third game, but at that point it's just way too late. But she's not going to be able to get that redemption arc this time because she's not making it. She's dead. She died in F tier. She's not a good romance option. Don't romance her, guys. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so chat's point out that yeah, she's also like super. Is it racist if you're like against species? She's like speciesist. She doesn't like the other alien races and like complains about them any chance she gets. So she gets that solid F tier. Though the sad thing is we won't see her glow up that they do in I think it's the third game. I don't think they do it in the second game. But she definitely does get like a glow up where they try and like they like redeem they change up her personality to like try and make her more likable. And then they also like change her character design. But we're not gonna see that because she did. Alright, next we're going with the the mommy issues, also known as Matriarch Benezia. And she acted as the second. She was like the second to the main bad guy, and then we find out that the main bad guy is the second to a different bad guy. So she's actually like the third wheel, and she definitely feels that way. Like, I feel like she gets extra points for like how creepy her kind of character is and that kind of thing. And she definitely has like kind of that brainwashing angle of her Asari commandos just like are so deeply loyal that it's a little bit on the creepy side. But her boss fight like totally sucks. She just like sits there in a circle while you like kill her minions as they come at you. And then, you get a cutscene, you get some dialogue, and then it basically is just like, okay, just shoot her a couple times and she's dead. Like not great, but not nearly as bad as Ashley. So she gets to get that D tier ranking. Next, we hop over to Captain Anderson. And from the very start of the game, his mentor, he takes us under his wing. And, he he represents the good in humans. Like, while we definitely were renegade, I would say he's a pretty strong paragon. Like he's very much he wants to do the best. He has his ideals and he sticks to them. But at the same time, he recognizes Shepard's importance and especially being a Spectre, how he needs to operate outside the law. And he definitely helps out. And so I think he's a pretty solid bro. But at the same time, I feel like I feel like his morals kind of hold him back, like he definitely could get more shit done if he, wasn't so tied up in all the, just like the bureaucracy and all the, just like bullshit he deals with. So we're gonna put him in A tier. I think he's A tier. Chat's saying that Matriarch Benezia deserves to be a little bit higher because of those mommy milkers right there. So you know what? We're gonna bump her up to a C because you know what? You guys are right. I gotta take character design into account, and her character design is pretty good. Um, just like even the headpiece is like pretty cool, but also that like the hashtag boob window that she's got. Chat's joking about the ads I got going on over at the side. I have no control over those. Those just pop up. Um, Next we hop over to the council, who just like throughout the game hindered us at every opportunity. And like I feel like the first game isn't like a really good like show of Mass Effect and the culture of it because like everybody's just fucking racist in Mass Effect 1. Like the aliens are racist towards the humans are racist towards the aliens. Like nobody is cool. But like the council takes it to an extreme of like their their stupidity is so bad that it straight up like causes issues. Like it's a detriment to them in the end how stupid they are and the fact that they just like refuse to let us do what we got to do. And so you know what? Ashley's going to have a lot of company down in F tier where I'm sending the three counselors. It kind of cut off the Solarian dude, but he's there. He doesn't escape from purgatory. He's getting tossed in there. Now we hop over to the original MILF of Mass Effect. Like, you got Matriarch Benezia, and she's cool. She's got the Bomby Milkers, all that good stuff. But the thing is we needed more romance options in this first game because like as let's look at it. Ashley, nah, get that shit out of my face. Liara, she's a goddamn simp. We'll get to her later. But my god, where was the MILF romance option? Like, let me just hang out with Dr. Chakwas. And you know what? Some of this is the fact that, I know what's happening in future games. I know how cool of a character she is. And so right now, I feel like I can't throw her up into that S or A tier yet. So like just the fact that, she's the resident MILF, we're gonna give her that B tier. We get more time with her, so she's got a chance of changing that rank. But for now, we're gonna drop her in the B tier. Alright. Now we hop over to the homeboy. We got just the bro, the dude, the squad mate. We got Garrus. He's loyal, he listens to what you have to say, and he truly talks to you. He feels your words, chat. He feels them. He listens and he responds. He's a good, kind person who wants to do good, like Captain Anderson, but he's willing to go outside of the law. And you know what? That puts him in S tier. Chat already knew. They were throwing it out there. They're like, "You love that boy. He's going in S tier." And you know what? He is going to S tier, and he deserves to be the first one in S tier. He's awesome. He's great. He's there for you. All right, so now we hop over to Joker. And some of this, it goes down to. All right, we gotta hop back to Garrus also for another thing. Matriarch Benezia got some points because she's got the mommy milker, she's got the booby window, whatever you want to say. Character design was cool. Headdress is awesome. It's something that we don't see other Asari wearing. Garrus has got that that fucking power level finder from Dragon Ball. Like he's sitting here ready to assess a situation. Like dude's character design is on point. Now we go to Joker. And part of it with Joker is the fact that, Seth Green is voice acting for him. And God, does that just it hits. Like he so perfectly does the character of Joker. And I feel like it's one of those that it's like he has that mix of, sometimes in video games and that kind of stuff, you have voice actors that you only hear the voice actor and you never truly hear the character. And Joker is one of those that you feel the character in his performance. We get a hint of it in this one talking to him, where he talks to us about, his brittle bone syndrome disease. I can't remember what it's defined as. Chat, let me know. I know he's got brittle bones. I can't remember if that's a disease or they classify it as a syndrome, but yeah, and so he has some issues. He's faced some, setbacks in his life and he has overcome, and he's the best goddamn pilot in the galaxy. Not just the best human pilot. He's the best goddamn pilot in the galaxy. And I wouldn't want anybody else piloting the ship. And you know what? I was trying to convince myself. I was like, oh, he's going to be an A or B tier. No, fuck it. He's going S tier, guys. He's going S tier, and I don't think he's going to come down from there. Because, I didn't remember him talking to us about having, the brittle bones and the fact that everybody's always worrying about him. And they're like, oh, can you handle it, Joker? I didn't think that we got that in this one. I thought that was a later game thing where we dive into it more. Yes, thank you, chat. Vrolic syndrome. So I think he's just already got to go into S tier. We already have character backstory, and we have this guy who he's trying to prove something. Honestly, Joker is one of those that he has more going on for him than any of the other characters. The next one we got coming up, Kaden. He also tragic backstory, so sad, he was experimented on as a kid, biotics. It sucks, but he doesn't have that arc where Joker is trying to prove something, and Kaden just has that sad backstory. And it's one of those where he gets extra points because it is the voice actor that did Karth. And did I like Karth in Knights of the Old Republic? No, I did not. Is it nostalgic to have him as one of the squad mates? Totally. And so, I think just that by itself, I think that he gets to hop over into the C tier. I wasn't expecting this. I added F tier because I was like, clearly we're going to use S through F. We're going to hit the spectrum. But like honestly, kind of just like looking at this preview, I'm not actually sure if we're going to have anybody pop into D tier. We'll see as we go. Now we got Liara. We got chat threw in a South Park joke there for tragic backstory. Um, so we got Liara, the resident simp of this game. Like, my God, she is like the reason. All right, so here, like this is a conversation between me and you. So we're gonna hop back over like this. The reason that they had to change the look of Ashley and change her personality in Mass Effect 3 is because in Mass Effect 1, nobody picked Ashley because they throw the resident simp at you and they give her the she's ignorant and innocent and she's just, she's she's there for all of your wants, your needs, your desires. She wants you, you want her. She's super interested in you. Like she she's a character that very obviously was supposed to be a romance option. Like she is just like so the ideal romance option in it that she totally like nowadays just feels like a straight up simp. Like she is the resident simp on the ship. And you know what? It's whatever. She can be the resident simp. That's fine. I think she's a really strong squad member in combat. She was definitely holding her own. Um, but like I think she gets better in the future ones. Like in this one, she's only kind of her personality trait is she is the romance option in this one. Like her character is not interesting, and I feel like she is just a romance option. And I'm having a hard time because do I think she's a better character than Kaden? Yes, but I have that nostalgia for that voice actor. You know what? I think we're gonna have to. I think we got to bump him down to D tier. I like him, but I don't think like it's one of those cases of once again, this is a game that came out, I believe, in 2008 originally. Around that time, like 2007, 2008. This game came out and BioWare very much were like, oh, men are going to play Mass Effect. So he is he's the romance option for the you know, the one or two ladies that are going to hop in and play it. And like you feel the discrepancy in the fact that they're like, oh, we're going to have a lot more men playing than women. And so Liara gets a lot more effort than he does. And so, as cool as I think he is as a squad member, I do think he is like super forgettable. He was like not written. I don't want to say very well, but he just like he wasn't written in general. Like he doesn't have much going on, it feels like, at least in this first one. Um so I think Liara gets it just because she has more plot relevance, because she is the Prothean specialist and that kind of thing. You have to go recruit her. I feel like she just gets a little bit more attention, so I think that throws her up to the C tier. All right, now I was thinking about this one earlier today, and we have Saren over here, and he He is a really cool bad guy. Like character design wise, he would be an S tier. And I think plot and story wise, I think it unfortunately drops him to an A tier, especially when you find out that he's not the main villain. He's just doing the work of the main villain. He's a henchman. And so it kind of starts off where it's like, oh, we're tracking down Matriarch Benezia, and then we get her and we find out that, oh, Saren's not so much in charge, Sovereign's in charge. And so I feel like it just kind of drops his worth a little bit. So I think I'm gonna drop him in A tier because like performance wise, absolutely amazing. He kills it. I think look, he is easily an S tier, but I think story wise, as soon as you drop him from being the main bad guy to he's just doing the work of the actual main bad guy, I feel like he drops down to that A tier, which is like really interesting because when I was originally thinking about this, I think I was going to put him in S tier, but like the more I think about it, I don't know, I feel like they kind of hurt him a little bit with that. Like he does have the cool thing of, like he is doing this for survival. Like he is hoping that by helping the Reapers, he is going to ensure that some of them survive. So like in a way, he is doing evil for good, but I don't know. I think he still stays in A tier, which honestly, that kind of sucks because I also don't think Sovereign is an S tier. So I don't think we're going to get an S tier bad guy, which is really unfortunate because I remember thinking that the bad guys in this were so good. And also, I just had a thought. You know what? It's happening. I am going to throw Saren up in S tier solely for the fact that his theme song that they play whenever he is on screen is so fucking good. So you know what? I take it back. He is S tier. He's worthy of it. He looks cool. His song is dope. Like his performance is great. The only thing hampering him is like that tiny little bit of story stuff. But for the most part, he like tick tick tick. He's checking it across the board. He's looking good. And then, Saren, or not Saren. This is Saren. Saren's over here. But Sovereign, I think honestly he could easily be an S tier if they introduce the concept of the fact that he is the bad guy a little bit earlier because when you take down Matriarch Benezia, it's kind of revealed to you. It's like, oh, the ship warps your mind. It controls you. Saren's using it to indoctrinate people and that kind of thing. And so it seems like it's kind of just like a ship. But then the more you progress, you find out that like, oh, Sovereign is in charge of Saren. Like it is slowly controlling his mind too. And so I feel like had it's hard because it's really difficult to have multiple bad guys that are really good in a single game. Just a single story in general. Like I feel like it's really hard to have that kind of focus in multiple places, by putting Matriarch Benezia and then you have Saren and then you have Sovereign. I feel like you dip a little bit too much. And I feel like because of that and how late we kind of start to figure out some of the stuff with Sovereign, I would honestly drop him even lower than A tier, but I put him at A tier just for the fact that he's got that great speech. He's really cool. He's intimidating. He's scary. He is an image and representation of what is to come. I think he's a really cool introduction, but I think that they just dropped him in a little too late with the fact that he is more than just a ship. All right. And then I mean, I don't think I have to say anything for this one. Guys, Tali's an S tier. You know, like as she's up there with Garrus of she is supportive, she gives she is responsible for a huge lore dump of a super awesome part of the history of Mass Effect. She's got an amazing character design. The performance is great, and I think she's one of those great side characters that is actually well done. Like in this one it's hard because there are only 6 companions. And so you have Garrus, who's really awesome. You have her, who I think is really awesome. And then from there you kind of drop off, like Liara is pretty cool. Kaden, he's whatever. Um, Ashley sucks. And then, we'll get to Wrex when we get to Wrex. But, I feel like it's rough because with this first one, um, it's just really hard because there's so few squad members, but they don't do enough to differentiate them. Like they all feel super similar, but then you have the thing that she's like your only tech person in this. Like yes, Garrus gets tech stuff, but he's a lot more weapon focused than she is. And so she feels like she really stands out where you have like Wrex uses biotics, you have Kaden uses biotics, you have Ashley uses biotics, and then you have or not Ashley, sorry. It's Wrex uses it, Kaden uses it, Liara uses it. And then you have Ashley's just guns, and you have Garrus's guns and a little bit of tech, and then she is the only person who's like just tech. And so I feel like she differentiates herself just like even like tactically. I do feel like a little bit of this is like me, knowing a lot about her character and that kind of thing. But I really do think she's just a great supporting character along the lines of Garrus, where he is a great character even when you're not romancing them. And I think that is something that you have to take in consideration with this game because I think Liara has the potential to be a better character if you're romancing her. But like if you're not romancing Garrus and you're not romancing Talia or Talia, Tali, if you're not romancing them, they're still amazing characters. Whereas I feel like, Liara, Kaden, and Ashley fall off if they're not your romance choice. So I think it's justified. I think she stays in S tier. And we're going to hop over to Senator Udina, who, guys, this guy sucks. He is a slimy politician who's a snake that backstabs you the first chance he can get once you put him in a advantageous position. And there's a reason we don't pick him for who's going to, take over kind of leading humanity. He sucks. He's not cool. I don't like him. The only points I could give him is the voice actor does a very good job making that character suck. Like he is just he's not good. And I know this one's controversial too. I know a lot of people love Wrex. I think Wrex is D tier. I I don't think that he is, a crazy good character. I think that he honestly in combat was way weaker than I remembered him being. Like so many times he just goes down. He's the only Krogan party member that you get, and so it's really hard to find armor for him. I don't think I ended up finding any armor for him the entire game just through playing. Like I know that if I went to a store and bought stuff, I could have found armor for him. But the thing is, I didn't have to do that for Garrus. Tali wears light armor, so it's okay. Liara, same thing. Like everybody else was fine. Like I was able to bump up their defense, whereas Garrus, or not Garrus, with Wrex, it felt like he just wasn't lasting in combat. Like he's supposed to be the shotgun, biotics heavy, but it felt like he was just going down all the time, and he just wasn't doing as much damage as I needed him to be doing. I think the thing that puts him in D tier is I do think that, same thing with Tali. his plot relevance is really interesting just in the aspect of he gives us a huge lore dump. And I think that that's super fun. I think that the information he gives us, really cool. But I'm looking over the list right now, and I don't think I'm going to change anything. I think everything is good where it's at. So, just to run over the list one more time, we have in S tier, Garrus, Joker, Saren, Tali. In A tier, we have Captain Anderson, and then we have Sovereign. In B tier, we have Dr. Chakwas. In C tier, we have Matriarch Benezia and Liara, which I find it hilarious that they ended up in the same tier, mother and daughter. In D tier, we have Kaden and Wrex. And then in F tier, we have Ashley, the Council, and Senator Udina. I also find it interesting, the balance of characters. We almost have like a perfect like parabola of, just like distribution where we have that like bell curve and then we have like the app, like the middle. But it's funny because it's actually, the opposite of what you would expect because, there should be more towards the middle where that's average. But I think that this fits. I feel like people lean harder to loving or hating characters. And so I think this is a pretty accurate spot. Do I think that all my people are where your people will be? No, but it's okay. You guys can be wrong. It's fine. Just kidding. No, the only way you're wrong is if you move anyone out of F tier. If any of these people leave F tier, your list is immediately null and void. That's facts. It's just what happens with Mass Effect. But yeah, so I think that that was a fun little in between. But yeah, so we are going to hop back like this. What up? So that was just a little in between that we were doing. We finished Mass Effect 1. So this gets made that way, we kind of have an idea, a list, rankings for just, where characters kind of lie right now. When we get to the next Mass Effect, or when we beat the next Mass Effect 2, I will add characters from Mass Effect 2, and we can throw them on this list and we can kind of see where they rank amongst, characters from Mass Effect 1, and if any characters from Mass Effect 1 that are in Mass Effect 2, if they move up or down or that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that's kind of where that list is looking right now. But, hey, I appreciate you watching this video. Leave a like, comment, who you think should have been moved. Don't give me, I mean, I guess if you want, you can give me your whole tier list. Just I guess you could leave that kind of in the comments, just like S, blah, 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 A, if you feel like it. But, if you disagree with where a certain individual is you feel super strongly about, hey, let me know. Like I said, so long as it's not anybody from the F tier, I'll accept, they can be moved around a little bit. But that F tier is pretty locked in. So I will see you guys in the next video. We're going to be starting up Mass Effect 2. So get ready. I know you guys heard me talking about it a lot throughout Mass Effect 1. So we're going to be starting that. But anyways, I appreciate you guys watching over here on YouTube. Twitch, I appreciate you guys as well for chiming in the chat. But anyways, I'm going to say goodbye, YouTube.